Captain Eddie Castle, and I'm in the shop. I'm getting started on a project, but I wanted to sand it out. Then I realized my sander had been underwater a couple of times, a couple of months, and it looks rough. This one may have to go to the can, but first, I'm going to clean it up a little bit. And then, oh wait, I'm going to make a sander. You want to know? Watch. Hey, a while back I showed you how I reconditioned a mug cover. I put it on and sanded it out because I screwed it up with a laser. Came out pretty nice. Now this is the mug that goes into it. This is from Craft Supplies, I think. And it slips in there. Now I don't like to make them big and heavy. I like them to be trim and fit, and I'll got those dainty little hands. But I have a nice finish on it, CA, several coats. I'm going to coat the inside because if water happens to get inside of it, I don't want it to swell up. But you know, I couldn't stand it that I did that project and it was all finished and beautiful. And I said, maybe I can't resist. Well, I couldn't resist. I took it back over, and get it in the right position. I took it back over to the laser, rigged it up, got it in place, and put my name back on the side of it, just so I know whose coffee it really is. So that's just another project we had underway. I found a really beautiful block of wood outside in the shop. They're going to knock the corners off of it. I don't like beating on things. I want to knock the corners off and set it up. It's the right size. We're going to make a mug. Maybe not today, but it's coming. I have some other things. How about bottle stoppers, lamp poles, quickie pens? I got a list. Hey, if you want to add to my list, just send me an email. Yeah, that's right, because what? I'll work for you. All right, I like this. Means I get a new cup. And I put that gold stuff in it that Cindy Droz has sold. It's a gold wax. And you rub it into an embellishment. You wait a day and then you rub it out. At least you're supposed to wait a day. Tell the wood turner he's got to wait. Hey, you want to build a propelled sanding system? That's right. For when you sand pieces, if you just put it on there and lap it straight out, you pick up some marks. And you might have some tool marks and some divots and stuff. And you want to get them out. Well, I have found that if you use a rotational sander, or auger, whatever you want to call it, but it goes around a little bit, you'll remove some of those marks because it scratches like this. Yeah, just like that. And it'll take the marks out. But how do you do it? Okay, you run over to Sears. You can't go to Sears anymore. All right. You go someplace else and you buy a 90-degree sander or drill. I got 4 or 5 of them out there. That'll work. You get a regular drill or a pistol drill or a cordless drill and you can do it. Yeah. It's all using power. Let's use this power. Let's make an orbital sander or a circular sander just like to hold these. I get all this stuff from Vince's Wooden Wonders, Vince Welch. Because I want to be turning better and smoother and getting better cuts. So my last cut's always a scrape, just to get rid of knickknacks and all that. Then I have to sand. So I'm going to build this. This is the handle for a self-propelled sanding rig. I want to show you how to build it. It's pretty good. This one is right here, probably 10 or 12 years old. And it's been we've flooded it a couple of times. It has taken a beating. What I'm going to do now is clean this one up and put it back together again, because I had to take a bushing out in order to do this. I'm cleaning up, put it back together again, and then we're going to make another one. Yes. And let's see, I might have a piece of 2x4. Yeah, I'm going to use the good wood. And I want to make another one the same length or a little bit longer. But what I want to show you is how you can build a tool to be as versatile as you want it to be, to reach anywhere you want it to reach, and do whatever you want, and there's no cords. Stick around, we're going to do that. Take 19. I cut a blank of 2 by 4. That's all it is. 2 or 1 5/8, 1 5/8, and about 7 1/8 inches long. Don't let the length bother you. That's got nothing to do with it. Now I drilled a 3/8 inch hole on a 45-degree angle right into that end. See that? That's the hole right through the end of it, right through the side of it. Now I took this over to the drill press and I drilled it. I didn't want a lot of walk, a lot of wiggle. So I drilled it out and I have it just deep enough for my bushing and bearing to fit in. I'll show you more about that. And what if you're off a little bit? You drill it again. Don't go too deep the first time. All right. So I drilled the hole. I have the piece ready. I drill the hole in the end of it because that's going to be the straight drive. See, I have them with an angle drive and a straight drive. Yeah, 2 tools, 1. Okay. That's the piece I did the other day. Boy, it's come out nice. I really wonder what that wood was. It looks like maple, but I'm not a great fan of, walnut. I'm not a great fan of walnut. All right, I have the block. Now, I want to hold it to spin it. Now, I like to cheat. It's just in my nature. Why? I like to find the easiest way to do something. This is my one-way strong glow chocolate profile jaws. Why? It's in there for another project. Now, this tool sat out in the weather for 4 months. I had sprayed it with Boeing T9 spray a while back. A year ago. And it was all sprayed up. And guess what? This works smoother than some of the people that I turn with can ever have their chuck move. Why? I cleaned it at one time and I sprayed it with something that won't attract dust. I'm back on a bandwagon about T9. Okay. To me, all that other stuff can go away. I won't miss it. In fact, somebody came over to help me clean it up and say, "You got a can of that?" Nope, don't have it. Well, why not? It's trash. Personal opinion, it's trash. Now, I want to turn this between centers. I have a pointy center over here. Now, that's not going to hold in this 3/8 inch hole very well. So I'm going to put the nose on it. Now, if I don't have a nose like this, I can make one with any kind of wood I want, and some like metals, but it's got a 3/4 tin hole tapped in it, and you can buy that 3/4 tin tap at home off the Ace Hardware. Okay, at least I get mine there. Why? Because my Ace Hardware would do what they needed to keep their customers happy. They really weren't worried about, it's not a big seller. That wasn't the deal. I'm going to line it. Now, here's a secret. The center of this hole, right here, has got to be the center of where I chuck it. Okay? That's the Italian version of a center marking gauge. I can say that. All right, and then I'll bring it up to that mark. Why center? Because I don't want that hole to be on one side or the other. You see, it has to come straight out. If it doesn't come straight out like that, then you have a little problem with it walking back and forth. And the strength's not there. So let's just say we're going to get it to come straight out. I have to do something about light. Got a new one coming. All right, I have just now put it between the stem center and live center. And I'm going to bring up my tailstock a little bit. Put my bar back on my tailstock. And I'm going to start rounding this. Now, I could use my favorite 6-inch. I'm going to stick with that because I'm more comfortable with it. You always turn with what you're comfortable with. I'm going to drop my tool rest in there and check the spin, always. Why? If you catch it, it goes off, it comes here. All right, now, with that in mind, in a moment, we're going to start rounding this thing off. Then I'll tell you why I did something else. Okay, where are brakes? Take 9. I'm back because Robert just called to tell me that my car warranty expired, and if I want to act right now and save some money, I had to give him some information. Robert will call me back. I trust they call every day, 2-3 times a day. They worried about my car. Got the block up. Had to get my shield on to get my vest pulled up. Can't get too dirty. I live in a house. All right. Now, I have a speed up at about maybe 1900 RPMs. That's not important, okay? Don't get sidetracked by numbers on speed. Get in tune with how fast it's moving and what you can do with it. Right? If I say 641 RPMs and you dial 641 RPMs and all of a sudden off it goes, or you split or whatever, you're going to say, I did just what Eddie said. Here's the deal. I can't tell you how fast to turn it. I can't tell you what's safe, what's not safe. I can't tell you what's the best for your wood. All I can tell you is I am going to turn this and I'm going to do this speed because I'm comfortable with it. Look. Not too fast. Not too fast, not slow. Forgive the angle, I need to move you to a better spot. I want to show you what I'm going to do in this. This is the angle drill, and it's got to be trimmed off. This is that straight man. This could be 1 foot long, 2 foot long. I wouldn't go any longer than that. But it can be whatever you feel. I like this one here, it's 7 inches long. Fits my hand really well. I can go, well, we'll talk about that. All right. Now, I've got this chucked up. You saw me get it ready. Let's spin it. Might not be able to hear me, so maybe I'll do a voiceover on this. All right. My speed is probably around 1800 RPMs. It might be a little bit more. I'm going to hit it with a roughing gouge. A bad name for a good tool. As I'm working it right now, I am rubbing the bevel as soon as I can. So I'm getting a smoother slicing cut. See what's coming off? Yeah, and that's only getting off the points. As we move into this wood more, I'm going to start feeling that the wood is getting round. I'm losing my flat spots. Now, flat spots are going to make my tool jump a little bit, and the jumping is going to cause some swirling, and the swirling is going to look like chatter, and it's going to get just ugly. So I'm just going to knock it down a little bit, and then flip around and go to the other side. Now, that's not bad, but I mean, it is a roughing gouge. What did I say? I moved it over to the other side. If I was using a 9 or a 10-inch tool rest, I'd probably not have to move it, and I could do the entire length. I don't mind the move. It keeps me concentrated on the area that I need to cut. Now here we're doing a straight in. I'm using it like a gouge. It's just cutting away. Now I can tip the handle down in the back, bring the cutter up in the front a little bit, and get a little bit smoother cut. But in a moment, I'll roll it up on its shoulder, and pick up the side of that blade. And I don't grind mine straight. I put a little hook on them, a little angle on them, and then I can slide across. I want to start getting the piece of wood that I want to work with. The beauty of concentrating on one end to the other is I just flip the tool around left-handed. I can't do anything left-handed. I couldn't stretch my butt with both hands behind my back. But I can get a smooth cut out of it and handle it. And I'm sitting on a stool doing this because my legs and my back are still not as strong as I like them to be. But we're getting there. Now, that is a fast pass with a roughing gouge. You can't beat that. Well, you can beat it, but it's an easy pass to make and an easy pass to work with.
I chose 2x4 because I want to show you that it's in the slicing and not in the material. If you got a better piece of material, ash, maple, oak, whatever you want to do it, it's fine, fine. I actually had one made out of Coca-Cola, but I'm stupid. I knocked it down. It's not quite round. See that little flat thing right there? Now, I'm going to take it down some more, but now I'm going to switch over to my skew because I want to make some slicing cuts from the two ends. Get a slight dip on it, slight. So I can hold it on this end, and then when I hold it on this end, I get the same feeling. Don't have to retrain myself. Okay, to the skew. We're going to go to the skew. I do like this hook around the skew. And notice I'm coming downhill. It's a good slicing cut downhill. Now, if I apply the bellows to the wood and twist my wrist, you see wrist twisting, that will drive it down slowly and I'll do a nice slicing cut. Feel the juice coming off of 2 on 4. It's not an easy task. I'm going to switch over to my regular parting tool. This is from the and my favorite. It's good and sturdy, and I can make it in slice. In part. Gives me a good edge I can work with. I'm going to bump the tool rest over to the other side. Like I said earlier, I don't mind moving it. It gives me a little more control over the one I'm turning. I'm back to my regular skew again. And I'm going to plane this thing down. Good. Smooth, sheer slicing cuts. That's what will give you a finish that you can slam into a good finish. You can always come back with a scraper on a slight angle and clean it up, take out any tool marks or bite marks with it, and get it really close to where you would have sanded it at 220. But don't start there. That would honestly be cheating for no gain. As I make these cuts down towards the end, this is where the angled end will be. My step center's there, and the trick is now, do not hit the center, do not hit the chuck. Now, marked where I want the top to come away from. See, I don't want a lot of meat above that piece. See that? That's so that when I put my pad in, I don't have the handle in the way. I don't need that much. I don't need it. That's what it's left over. All right, I made it too long on purpose so I could do this. I'll show you, this is a straight shearing cut. I'll round the corners off and we're done. Suit up. I was spinning at about 1,800 to 2,000 RPMs. I was safe. If I went too fast, I could blow this apart if I got a catch. So I didn't go too fast. Don't worry about this fast.
put my hand on it, feels good. I like it. What I'm gonna do now, I brought the speed down. Whoa, I didn't. Bring the speed down to something like 500 RPMs, and I'm gonna sand it out. Now this is a tool, so if you wanna get goofy, you can sand this thing to 600, 800 grit and polish it out, all that stuff. But it's a tool. I know it's one of yours and you want it to look nice and feel good, but it's also a block of 2x4. Sandpaper's still working as sandpaper, not polishing it. Let's see what that was. That was 220. I'm looking for a 320. I put them out of order because I was cleaning some tools a little while ago. Probably used it and didn't put it back. Right there, in front of me.
You know, it'd be the last place I look for it. Now, if you see the sawdust falling off the piece right there, I'm at about 500 RPMs, maybe less. I have a one-way and I really don't look at the speed that much. I look at this speed. And I know I don't want to polish it. I don't want to burnish it. And I don't want to waste paper. Why waste it and throw it away?
Okay. So that was 320. I'll get this back in order today.
This is 400.
My tools are still full of rust, and I'm cleaning them every time I pick them up to sharpen them. I clean them a little bit more. And I'm using 220, 320, and 400 to take the rust and scales off them so that they work better. It got rusty in a storm situation that my friends, I love this, Bob and Carol and Alice. I think it's supposed to be Bob, Carol, Ted, and Alice, but I didn't get a Ted come in. All right, now I got 400 on this. Now, if you know what I was talking about, you're old. All right. I want to take a scrap of paper, and I'm going to put my protection on. That's my protection. These are blue painter's tape. And get my Starbond super thin. I like to use it.
It's a good CA, really is.
And I like the super thin. I've got the medium thick, and I'll apply stuff with it. But right now, this is looking really good to get my tool rest out of the way. I don't want to jam fingers. They hurt. Go back to low power. That's the fastest, easiest, most durable finish I can put on a piece of 2x4 to use as a tool handle.
Put a little CA on it.
Now, this is, I keep saying 2x4, right? This is like 800 grit or 1,000 grit. I found it in the pack, it's flooded, it's smooth. I threw it in the washing machine and washed it, and it didn't come out too bad. Well, if you do that, make sure you tell the boss that you forgot it was in your pocket. Don't tell you intentionally threw it in the washing machine. All right, go back a little more of the CA. Now, this with the blue tape, I don't have any glue on my fingers. And they're not burning like CA will do you. That's got chatoyance. That's a 2x4 and it's got chatoyance. Should be illegal.
This is as simple as rocks. This right here, you can see it, is my bushing and bearing kit. Now, if you buy this from me, you're going to get one bushing and one bearing, and that's going to do one end of your sander. Now, if you're going to make a double-ended sander, like I showed you, you need one for the front, one for the side. Got it? Okay. And at $10 a kit, it's cheap. Only because you're paying about what I'm paying. All right. So, I have a ball bearing that's magnetized. And I have a sleeve, or bushing. I'm going to drop the ball bearing down in the hole, and then I'm going to take the bushing. See how technical that is? I got to find my sanding pad again. There's my sanding pad. I was cleaning tools with it. Drop it in there. Get this, which it is. Member of my workshops a long time ago, I did one of these and I didn't have a magnetized ball bearing. And a piece came out a couple of times. And this nice gentleman in Texas said, "Hey Cap, make it magnetized." I went to K&J and bought the magnetized ones. So now I put it in, it stays in. And I still got my great rotation. Yeah, now, when I do the other end, this is really tricky. Have to open another pack. These things stick to anything. If you drop it on the floor, pick up all the metal pieces in your shop and look underneath them. Because it's not going to lay on the floor. It's the beauty of these magnets I get from K&J. They got some holding power. Once again, and I buy the higher end. Whoop, once again, got the hole. Ha! Right there on the lake. Now you get it off, you big dumbass. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow. You think I'm joking? Now, that's not holding power, nothing, yes. Don't drop it again. We'll put the bearing in a hole. We'll take the bushing. Go right over the top of it. Put it in there. Then set the bushing. Now, don't overset the bushing. The magnet will work, it's jammed up. It'll go in, and you have the side thing. Okay? I want to show you how it works. 1 minute. But I'll drop another bearing. I've moved you once again. Hope you're not getting car sick. We're going to go to 120 grit paper. This is just to knock everything down. Now you see, I did this with a skew just now, and it's not as pretty as I would like. I could just touch up the skew and make it a little bit better. But suppose I can't touch up and I can't make it any better, I need to sand it out. My speed's way down. Now, I am approaching this in the bottom quadrant. Here and here. Okay. If I do this, it's going to want to kick over like that. Okay, so I'm going to come around to the bottom. No high speed. And you will learn where the sweet spot is and how you can work it. What you're doing is you're cutting like this. So you automatically knock down the ridges.
automatically knock down any tool marks or ridges that's on there. You saw I could work it, and you see where I didn't work it. And I'm not gonna get those out. Those bites have to be planed out, scraped out. That's what I would do. But I have it like this, and I can take it and work it all the way up to 400. But say I'm in the bottom of a bowl. Go ahead and say it. I'm in the bottom of a bowl. All right, now, I'm going to take it and switch it around and be straight in. I can work it on the bottom of the bowl. Okay, as you can see, I flattened this out, got most of the ridges out. This is not ready to put a finish on. I'm gonna have to bring it up. I'm gonna bring up 120, 223, 20, or whatever, and I'm going up to 400. And when I do the 320 and 400, I'll probably not do it orbital. I'll probably do it and lap it out. Why? I don't want to add to the lines. I don't want to scruff it, and I don't want to dish it. So flat on here, and then I'll stop and lap it out. And that'll bring most of your joints out. Consider it's 2x4, that's not easy. Okay, now go back to the other spot. Well, here we go. We had a little fun, and we made a prototype of our sander. Now, I turn this all out, and I don't like the way it works. What do? Let me get my removable tool. I have it right here. That's it. This is my removal tool. I put it down in bedways and beat it with a hammer, and those two parts come out. Beat it down, and those two parts come out, and then I make another one. Okay, but if you want to make more than one, feel free. Say you do deep vases and you want one just to straight in and way down a deep vase, or you're a real nut, you want to do all the sides on the inside of a piece, or on the outside of a piece, or on the end, or on the back. They're so versatile, it's unbelievable. Now, if you want to build different lengths, just order more kits and build different lengths. They don't go bad. The one I showed you earlier, I thought it was about a dozen years old. I found a video that I did almost 20 years ago that had them in it, and it still works like a charm. Really? Yeah. Building tools in your shop, tools that are yours to fit your dimensions, to work for your turning, to work with your equipment. That's fun. Really, it not only saves money, but it's fun. And as long as you're having fun, get out and shop and start making shavings. That's the rule. Go to shop, make shavings. Got it? Got it. I do like this, considering it's 2x4. I may improve the finish a little bit, you know, laugh at it. Yeah. Because the cost of 2x4 nowadays, this is not cheap.